Have you ever dreamed of speaking English without thinking? Have you imagined yourself talking in English, but the words just come out like magic? No pauses, no stress, just smooth and beautiful English? What if I told you there is a secret? One so simple but so powerful that it can make this dream come true. Before I share this secret, let me take you to a small, quiet town. A boy named Arun lived there. He wasn't rich, he wasn't a genius, but he had one big dream: he wanted to speak English. Why? Because he believed English could open doors to the world. He saw people on TV talking confidently in English, and he thought, will I ever be like them? One day, something magical happened. His uncle came to visit from a big city. His uncle was like a superstar in the family, charming, confident, and fluent in English. Arun's eyes sparkled when he saw him speak. Everyone listened with respect. Arun thought, this is what I want to be. So Arun asked his uncle, how do you speak English so well? His uncle smiled and said, I don't just speak English, I think in English. Arun was confused. Think in English? What does that even mean? He didn't understand then, but it was the beginning of something amazing. Now, I want to ask you, do you know what it means to think in English? Most people think they need perfect grammar, a dictionary, or big words to speak English fluently. But no, the secret is simpler. It starts inside your mind. Think about it before you speak any language. Where do the words come from? They come from your thoughts. If you think in your native language and try to translate every word, your brain gets tired. It's slow and it feels heavy. But if you think directly in English, the words flow like a river. No stopping, no blocking. Arun didn't know this at first, but he was ready to learn. One day, he tried a little game. When he looked at his dog, he said to himself in English, my dog is happy. When he went to school, he thought, I am walking to school. These were small sentences, simple words, but they were in English. And slowly, something incredible happened. Do you want to know what it was? His mind started to switch. The voice in his head wasn't speaking in his native language anymore. It was speaking in English. Arun felt like he had a secret superpower. He didn't need to translate words. English became his friend, not a stranger. And here's the exciting part: you can do this too. Imagine waking up in the morning. Instead of saying in your mind, what should I eat today, in your language, you say, what will I have for breakfast, in English? When you see the sun, think, it's a sunny day. When you're walking, think, I'm walking to the park. These small thoughts are the seeds of big change. But let me tell you, Arun's journey wasn't always easy. There were days he felt shy. When he tried speaking, people laughed at his mistakes. It hurt, but he didn't stop. He thought, mistakes are not failures. They are my teachers, and every mistake made him stronger. One day, at a school event, Arun was asked to speak in English. His hands were shaking, his heart was racing, but he remembered his uncle's advice: don't think of people, think of your thoughts. So he started. The words came out one after another, and when he finished, there was silence. Then, applause. Big, loud applause. Arun smiled. He had done it. Now, close your eyes for a moment. Imagine yourself speaking English like Arun. How does it feel? Wonderful, right? But how do you start? Here's your first step talk to yourself in English. Yes, it might feel silly, but it's powerful. When you wake up, say, "Good morning." Self, when you brush your teeth, think, "I am brushing my teeth." Talk about everything you see, even if it's simple. Second, listen like a baby. Babies don't start with grammar books. They listen to their parents, their surroundings, and the sounds of the world. Listen to English songs, watch English movies, or follow English YouTube channels. Don't worry about understanding every word. Just let your ears soak in the language. Third, be fearless. Speak even if you make mistakes. Remember, every great speaker was once a beginner. And finally, fall in love with English. Make it a part of your life. Treat it like a friend, not a subject. Play games, sing songs, and enjoy the journey. Let me end with a thought that will stay with you. Every language is a door. English is one of the doors to the world. Open it, and you'll find endless possibilities. When Arun decided to think in English, he didn't realize how it would change his life forever. At first, it felt strange. His mind was used to his native language, so thinking in English felt like trying to walk on a tightrope. But Arun had a little trick he made English fun. Do you know what he did? He started to name everything around him in English. When he saw his bed, he would say, "This is my bed." When he saw a tree, he would think, "That tree is tall." Every small object became part of his practice. It was like turning his world into a classroom, but it didn't feel like studying. It felt like a game. Let me ask you this: do you love games? Games are fun because they challenge us, but they also reward us. Arun created his own reward system. If he thought 10 sentences in English during the day, he gave himself a treat: a cookie, a short video, or even a little break to relax. These small rewards kept him excited. What about you? Would you try this game? And then, something amazing happened. Arun's little sister noticed his efforts. She was only 6 years old, but she wanted to copy him. She began asking, "What is this in English?" Arun laughed and said, "This is a chair soon." They both started playing a game called "What is it in English?" They named things, made sentences, and even acted out short conversations. Here's the beautiful thing about learning: when you share it, it grows. Arun's sister started learning faster because of his help, and Arun's confidence grew because he was teaching. Have you ever thought about teaching someone else what you know? Teaching is one of the best ways to learn. Even if you know just a few words in English, share them with someone. Tell your friend, your sibling, or even your pet. The more you say the words out loud, the more natural they will feel. One day, Arun decided to push himself further. He joined a local English club. It was a small group of people who wanted to practice speaking English. At first, he was nervous. He thought, what if I make mistakes? What if they laugh? But when he arrived, he realized everyone was just like him. They were learners, not experts. The first time Arun spoke in front of the group, he said only a few sentences. They weren't perfect, but the group clapped and encouraged him. Slowly, Arun became more comfortable. He made friends, laughed at his mistakes, and even helped others. Do you know what he learned from this? That people don't judge you as much as you think. Most people are kind, and they understand how hard it is to learn something new. Arun realized that making mistakes wasn't scary, it was necessary. Every mistake brought him closer to fluency. Now, let's talk about you. Imagine yourself walking into an English club. Imagine saying your first sentence in English. Maybe your voice shakes a little, but the group smiles and claps. How does that feel? Exciting, right? Let me tell you another secret: you don't need a physical club to practice. Today, you can find people online. Join a language exchange app, a social media group, or even leave comments in English on videos or posts. The internet is full of opportunities to connect. But here's a key tip when you practice. Focus on real conversations. Don't try to sound perfect. Instead, think about what you want to say. Imagine you're talking to a friend. Use simple words, simple sentences. Over time, you'll naturally grow. One day, Arun's uncle returned to visit. This time, something different happened. Arun greeted him confidently in English. They talked, laughed, and shared stories all in English. His uncle was amazed. He said, "Arun, you've grown so much. I'm proud of you." That night, Arun sat by his window, looking at the stars. He thought about his journey. It wasn't just about learning English. It was about becoming a better version of himself. He felt strong, confident, and ready for the world. And now, my friend, it's your turn. You have the same potential as Arun. It doesn't matter where you start. What matters is that you take the first step. Start small. Start today. Talk to yourself, listen to English, and most importantly, think in English. Let me leave you with one final thought. Every step you take in learning English is a step toward your dreams. Don't wait for the perfect time, because the perfect time is now. Start thinking in English and watch your life transform. So, how do you begin thinking in English if it feels too hard? Let me take you back to Arun's story. After his uncle left, Arun faced a big challenge. School exams were near, and he barely had time to practice English. He felt stuck, and that little voice in his head started doubting him. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I'll never speak fluently.